Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mediak podcast, episode 16. And this definitely is not our second attempt at this intro.
Oh,
This week,
wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Nobody, I'm trying to figure this
come
out in
on,
my
third
head.
time's the charm. You got this. I believe in you.
Nobody messed up their audio recording. That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to say.
Okay. Well, all of that effort just for
Definitely
you to
not.
say that definitely
Yes,
wasn't worth it.
my dyslexia is coming through my mouth.
I'm
That's how
dyslexic.
it
I can't
works.
talk.
Everything, yeah, everything looks better now, so I'm gonna say that everything's fine. That would
Okay.
have been really awkward if I posted that and it was just you talking.
That would suck. Mainly because the Spotify one is definitely the one that people listen to more. Um,
Yeah.
this week we will be going through our Marvel adventure and finishing up Phase One with Marvel's The Avengers. Next week we will
Yay.
be taking a little break from the Marvel universe, but it won't be very long. We'll be right back after a week or two, and I'm excited to venture off. Jack, how was your week?
Pretty good. I didn't do a whole lot. It
Oh, neither did I.
wasn't a very eventful week.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Oh,
those are the
and
best ones.
that's a fair point. If you're going to recommend us stuff to watch, DM us on Instagram at Mediak Podcast, because we get those pretty quick and we can respond pretty quick.
Yeah, and feel free to
Or
follow both
tweet at
me and
us.
Jack separately on Instagram too. We're tagged in one
Oh
of
yes,
them.
that works too.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
yeah, you
DM
can
our
tweet at us.
personal accounts, but you can definitely tweet at us, do anything. We'll,
Yeah, okay.
we are
That works. That
obligated
works.
to answer every movie that you guys say because of the fact that there is so little of you guys as of right now.
Yeah.
So if you do say a movie, we will watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. It won't be too hard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Except Titanic.
Oh yeah, that one's gonna be very difficult. I don't know. In
Ugh.
Midsummer, apparently, I haven't seen that movie, but Austin has. I talked about this last week, but that
Oh
might be a
yeah,
little
he said
rough.
he did.
But that's
Yeah.
okay. This week, I did nothing but play video games a lot, and I watched a bunch of TV and stuff like that. But I got Dark Matter and Zombies on Cold War.
Oh gosh,
I know.
that was quick.
Well, it's a glitch. It's not my fault though. The
Oh.
game is broken. It's
Oh, wait a second. Isn't it like, yeah, you shoot something?
no, no. It's like all you need to do is get diamond 3 times, and then it gives it to you.
Oh.
Which isn't hard. But I didn't know that my game, like, because it's only on some games, but I didn't know my game was glitched out like that until this week. So what I haven't been like diamonding an entire row. I've been just golding different guns that I felt like were fun until I
Hmm.
diamond a snipers last Monday, and then I was like, oh, it only says I need 2 more. So then I just did secondaries this week, and then it gave me it.
Wow, that's pretty. Huh.
Yeah, I know.
And only some games? That doesn't make more sense.
I know it's so weird. And then I the funny thing is, last week it gave me diamond SMGs for no reason. Like, no, I did almost every SMG, but I had one left. And as I finished the second to last one, it was like, congratulations, diamond. And I was like, what?
Hmm.
Call of Duty, fix
That's
your game.
weird.
It's
Yeah,
so
that's just
weird.
totally broken, but yeah. I
And
mean,
and it's funny because I
in
can't.
your case.
They're no, but they're aware that the glitch is in the game because if you try to put dark matter on a gun that you don't have gold, it says you need to get your gun gold for this to use this camo.
Hmm.
So they can't fix the glitch, but they can make it so that you still have to do the work, I guess.
That's curious.
I don't know. Call of Duty's
Yeah,
they're being
just
really weird.
totally ruined. Yeah.
You get that yet? You get the game?
No, I don't have it. Nah.
But you bought Modern Warfare.
I bought Modern Warfare a while ago.
You still bought it though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so the reason I bought it was because I had a craving for a realistic modern shooter because
You're
there's
never
this
gonna get that
game
with
coming
Call of
out
Duty.
called Insurgency Sandstorm, and that's like peak modern shooter. But I didn't have a PC at the time, so I couldn't buy that game. So I was like, well, it's coming to Xbox, so I'll just wait. And as I was waiting, Modern Warfare came out in the meantime. And it was marketed as a highly realistic shooter. So I was like, I guess this will fill the void. So I bought it. I played it for not a whole lot of time, and then I got a PC, so none of it mattered. But
I
Insurgency's pretty fun.
That's good. We'd like to see that.
It was the biggest fucking roundabout, whatever, but in the end it worked out.
Yeah.
I'll
What the
take it.
hell,
I'll
dude?
take it. What?
Just the Modern Warfare ruined Call of Duty, in my opinion. People will say that it started with Advanced Warfare, but nah. All the boost jumping Call of Duties were still Call of Duty. Modern Warfare and Cold War aren't Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah,
Because like you can't just go in and have a fun game on those games. You have to like try every time, and everyone's like camping and being a bunch of little. I
that sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible, but it's whatever. I play zombies. Uh,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. I mean, I have 4 days on zombies and 3 days on multiplayer, mainly because like they force you to play multiplayer because you level up incredibly slow on zombies,
Right.
which is stupid. And also they have a weird system that like if you play solo, you get the base XP, but if you play with 2 players, you get double XP. If you play with 3 players, you get triple XP, and 4 players quadruple. But like I don't have
That's
friends.
crazy.
I don't have friends, so I can't do that.
That's
I
ridiculous.
know. So
Why?
that and the funny thing is the majority of people that are going to be playing zombies are playing by themselves. So they just screw over their community.
That's so weird.
I don't know. Corey told me this one time. Well, he says it a lot actually, not one time. He said, "I'm pretty confident that Treyarch is trying their best to make the worst Call of Duty game."
Really?
Well, cause like it's
That,
good, but they just keep making it worse. Like the stuff that they add into the game isn't helping it.
yeah.
Like they had a broken gun, but instead of buffing it, they just added another gun into the game that's more broken.
Yeah, right.
And
That's so
it's so
hmm.
weird. I don't understand whatever when I get into the Avengers.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, word. Whatever. Okay, Marvel's The Avengers. This is another movie that I also underrated like Cap. For some reason, whenever I first saw it in theaters, I loved it, but I never wanted to watch it again. And
Yeah,
I know that sounds weird, but like it's I don't know how to explain it. I just didn't feel like watching it. And I gave it a bad rap in my head, but it's actually a good movie in my opinion at least.
yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna say when watching this. I think what ruined it for me at the time when it came out, I know I saw it and I was like, that's pretty all right. And then I saw it like six more times. So I
Oh
just
yeah.
never wanted to watch it for like years. And now coming back to it,
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
I don't know. I'm very happy we're doing this by the way. Like I know I've always been a big Marvel nut, but like this has over the last like couple years my after Endgame came out, my love for Marvel dropped because I just was like there's no way that they can make something good after this movie. So in my head I just was like Marvel bad. So then every time I watched the movies I didn't see the love and like enjoyment that the movies usually bring me. And
Yeah.
I rewatching them again has opened my eyes for that because as a kid, whenever I first saw this movie, it was amazing. But as time went on, I lost all the charm of it because I've seen those things already. Like I've seen the Helicarrier, I've seen Stark Tower, I've seen all these guys together. So I forgot the feeling of seeing all these guys on screen together for the first time and how amazing it is and how every time you see it, it should be like this movie should go down in history in my opinion even though it isn't like the best movie in the Marvel universe, but it is the first movie of this type
Yeah.
of genre to come out of this, and it did it successfully. It did it really
Yeah.
well.
It's like the beginning of the good to come.
Yeah,
Like it
exactly.
kind of demonstrated all of the stuff that we wanted, like the big action pieces and
Yeah,
the culmination of all the people that we like.
yeah, like this movie was the movie that mattered. This was the mid-season
Right.
finale of the season of the show, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah. What was
Coming back
that?
to it, you really realize it. I was just watching this made me happy because it was like, shit, this is so much better than I made it out to be
I know.
years and
That's
years ago.
exactly what went through my head. And I told Austin that, and he said, "You're a dumbass." I was like, "What?" He said, "I can understand you not liking Cap and then liking that again, but this is the Avengers. This is one of the best superhero movies of all time. You're just stupid for thinking that it was bad." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that is kind of true, I guess." It's it was so
Yeah.
obviously good that in my head just kind of pushed it away. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
right. I, I don't know.
It,
I also have this weird complex where like I want like I don't know, I want to like things that a lot of people don't like.
oh my god, yeah, I feel that too. Like,
Yeah. So
I,
when everybody was like Avengers is the greatest movie of all time, I was like, I mean, yeah, it's good, but I don't know.
that's
I
literally
like
how I
X, Y,
feel
and Z
right now
more.
with anime. Like how every single person on the fucking planet is now watching anime, and I'm just kind of sitting here like, I've known it was good. I hate you,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
And like
Like you
whenever,
want it, the kind of indie
yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever.
I didn't really get that feeling with Marvel because this came out when I was in fourth grade, so everyone was already into that shit. Like there wasn't really like it was. It's hard to explain, but everyone as a kid didn't make fun of you because we were in grade school and no one really gave a shit what you did.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you could be the biggest nerd on the planet, like me and a couple of my friends were whenever we watched this movie, and no one would care. So I don't really not that I don't relate, but I don't know how to explain what I feel.
Yeah, I get that. And they
Yeah,
have I don't know, there's just so many things that stand up, you know?
this was
Like
just the most important movie in the entire MCU, like without a doubt, in my opinion, because
yeah.
Iron Man 1, like all the previous movies could have been the best thing ever, and all the movies afterwards could have been the best thing ever. But if it didn't work with all of them together, then it wasn't the MCU. This
Right.
series, like I don't like Whedon as like a director. Not don't like it. He's not my favorite. He does a lot of he like tries to make serious moments in the cartoony. Like that's my biggest problem with this movie, that it feels like a comic book, which I love making comic books into reality, but I like doing it in like a serious way. You know?
Yeah, like there's a line that has to be drawn because there's clearly a reason a comic is a comic and a movie is a movie.
Mm-hmm. But even
Like
some
you have
a
to
lot
make
of
it
comics
fit.
are a lot darker than even this movie.
Exactly. And
And
that's the reason to go to the comics.
yeah, and I think that was what bothered me about watching this film initially. Like after I was in fourth grade, and I was like, oh, this is like a jokey film. Like no one's taking the fact that the entire city's getting destroyed seriously. But
Yeah.
rewatching it, they really like. There's not many jokes made, and it's by Tony, who just can't be serious.
Right. And that yeah, that's his character.
Yeah, and I like I don't I always thought it was weird how an entire army came down but didn't leave Manhattan. But then there was a line from Tony where he said they're after us because they're like the Avengers are the only thing in their way. And then I was like, oh, I guess that makes a little bit more sense. But
Yeah.
there, I find it hard that there wasn't a singular alien that was just like, fuck it, I'm not attacking them. Look at all my guys. They're getting their
Right,
ass
yeah.
kicked. I'm not going here.
Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah, let's just like kill a bunch of people elsewhere.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Go to
Exactly.
fucking London. I can fly.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't
exactly.
matter.
Oh lord.
But I mean, yeah, when you put it like that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's whatever. All right, I'm gonna start getting my notes now. I'm
Are you
starting from
getting
the
notes?
beginning of the movie, going to the end of it. I
Your
never
totally legible notes.
shut up, okay? I hate you. Like, okay, I want you to know. I have two dots, and then my third dot is gamma can be harmful, and I just didn't know where that was placed at all. But but apparently that's a quote because I think I remember Nick Fury saying that, and it's like a nod to Hulk, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I think that's funny. I'm gonna mention that on the podcast, but I didn't put it in quotes. I just was like, I'm gonna remember what this means, and I just didn't.
Yeah, I'll know. I'll know when it comes up.
I love whenever I do that too, because that happens a lot. I like whenever I'm reading my notes and I pause, it's because I look at my notes and I go, I know I had something to say about this, but I just didn't
Yeah,
elaborate enough.
yeah.
It always happens. I never remember how the movie starts. I always think it starts at the base, but I keep forgetting that there's a scene with Loki at the very beginning. I never remember that every time I rewatch this movie.
Hmm.
You know? Do you
Yeah.
remember that? Because I don't. It's such a short scene, and it's not like it doesn't mean anything because it's important ish. I just forget it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I
And
guess you did I didn't notice that. You're right. I never really thought about that scene.
yeah, because it's just like it's there, you know? Like
Yeah.
you don't like on your first viewing, you're gonna be like, I don't understand this, so I'm gonna forget it. And I
Right.
also thought it was weird how Hawkeye was the one person in the entire research facility that's filled with a bunch of geniuses to think of the idea that it can be opened both ways.
Yeah,
because
that's kind of
it's
a bit of a
Hawkeye.
movie moment
Yeah,
where
that's a
they're like,
movie moment. That they just
it's
they
not
brought
Hawkeye figured out.
yeah they did that because they're like he's a superhero and we didn't really show him off in Thor, so like we have to show him off now.
Yeah, he's gotta know. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna know.
yeah. I mean like come on, what the hell? I don't understand. So coming back from this, I think I found a plot hole. Okay,
Okay.
because I don't think this was a plot hole when the movie first came out, but after they elaborated more on the stones and what they do, I think it is now. Because I don't think the the portal, not the portal, the space stone, the tesseract should be a door. You know, because how the fuck do they open up the portal? The villains. How does Loki do that?
Uh, I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. And you'd think that you'd have to be able to, as Thanos had. He had the gauntlet. He had the stones in the gauntlet, which is how he activated it. But like,
Yeah.
if he could do long like activation from a long distance, then why did he need the gauntlet to begin with?
Right.
So I think that's a plot hole,
I guess. Yeah.
but not
Just a
really one.
little oversight.
Yeah, it was just. I guess it was like that one is a way of just like the movie needed to happen, so that had to happen.
Right. Exactly.
Or I thought of it whenever I was watching the movie. I was like, maybe they found a way to connect into the technology for it to activate the stone, and that's more believable than them just straight activating the stone. If you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. In that fight scene, Loki kicks a guy, and you like legitimately hear his back snap when he hits a wall. I don't know why, but whenever I saw that scene, I just was like, "What the hell?" Like that's a lot darker than I was expecting, and that was
Yeah. They don't really put that in these, but
yeah. Also, the
yeah,
eye scene.
I didn't catch that.
I didn't think that scene to be necessary. Like, so I wr- this goes back down to my notes that don't make any sense. I said, why didn't Loki hypnotize the man instead? And then I put little asterisks and I said, think.
Think.
No, but like I know what I
That's a
meant
good
to say.
line.
Like I know what I meant that to mean. Like I meant to ask you that and then have us talk about it. So
Right.
so in my head, I was like, he doesn't need to technically go out in the public and murder that guy. He could have just hypnotized him like the rest and then used his eye to get in that safe. But quite obviously, he wanted to get caught. So he just did that so that someone would come save him. And they kind of alluded to that with the Avengers figuring out, well, not the Avengers, with Captain America figuring out where he was at by looking at the camera. And then someone says, he's not really trying to make himself hidden.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's where they kind of
Yeah.
throw it out to you.
They really should have known that Loki wanted to get caught from the get go. Like, come on.
It's Loki.
It's yeah, honestly.
You should just know.
Yeah. I I
That's
don't
why
know
I
if you
liked
know
Loki.
this. I don't know if you know this, but they confirmed that Loki is so evil in this movie because of the Mind Stone. Like,
Oh,
you know the
like it
little
corrupted him, kind
yeah,
of.
the scepter that's in his hand. Okay, that's the Mind Stone. We all know that. But like just being around it kind of changes your personality, and we see that in the scene with all of the Avengers, and they're just like yelling at each other. And I really
Oh.
like the camera work in that specific scene because it like goes around each of the Avengers as they're arguing, and then it stays on the scepter and like shows that this is the reason why they're fighting, and then it curls over the scepter to show the Avengers on their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool because it flipped the stone flipped the Avengers upside down. It brought out the worst in all of them, and I thought that was really cool. And then the cat,
Yeah, that was cool. Now thinking back on it, that's really clever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't I don't understand why I didn't notice this. This is probably one of the reasons I didn't like Captain America as a character until later on. But I always thought he was a dick because he was just like put on the suit. But since when would Captain America ever say that? That's very
Right. Yeah,
obvious.
no, that's totally out of
It
character.
it bothers me that I didn't notice that my first time watching the movie. I know it was in fourth grade, but come on,
Yeah.
like it's so like Captain America wouldn't say that. And then they immediately go back to being buddy buddy whenever they fall down into the another room and they're away from the scepter.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a little cool detail that I liked.
I kind of like figured that on one of like the many views I had years
Yeah.
ago, but like I never really thought about it. And I remember now thinking back before I kind of had the hunch that that was what was going on
Mhm.
and being like, why are they like all fine with each other now? Like I get they're in a stressful situation, but like I'd still be pissed. But it kind
Yeah, it's the Mind
God,
Stone.
it's
It's
Borderlands,
fucking with
but
them.
it
I,
kind of makes sense now. Yeah.
that also in my head, like I always would compliment these movies about how well they're connected, but then I would always think back to this movie specifically, and I was like, they didn't expect any of this to go wherever they wanted because both the Tesseract and the staff were blue. There's no way that they were intended in the staff to be the Mind Stone, but like they definitely were. I don't know what I was thinking with that, which is my problem. Okay, I don't know how to word this in a way that makes sense, but people don't like Age of Ultron because they say that that movie is hinting too much toward like it's just not a movie. It's like a trailer
Yeah,
for
it's
other films.
just right. Yeah,
Yeah, which
it's just a lead in.
but the thing is, all of them do that.
Yeah.
This is no different. Like it's, that scene in specific that we were just talking about, technically speaking, is on the same level as well, not as in your face as Thor going into the pool and seeing all the stones, but that's basically that because slightly showing off the power of the stone without like someone actually using the power. It's just like this is what we're gonna get into. This is what we're gonna hype up the next whatever episodes of the show until we get to the point in which like it all climaxes. But this is a slight power that we're gonna show without someone willingly using it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I guess that goes more towards into the issues with Age of Ultron because of the fact that it was so in your face as like very obviously this is going into the next movies when this movie hit it a little better.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Where people see the Age of Ultron as and all that,
Yeah.
this hides it better.
Yeah, this does hide it better. I can't give that. I do like the feel of Age of Ultron more because it doesn't feel like a comic book. I like
Yeah,
it has a
I
seriouser tone.
totally agree with you.
Okay.
It's Age of Ultron is just kind of a not a stupid movie, but it's just like it's just a movies movie.
I like it. I enjoy it. It also is.
Yeah, I never had a problem with Age
Yeah.
of Ultron.
We'll talk about that more whenever we get to it. Hopefully, my opinion
Yeah,
doesn't change in the movie. Hopefully, actually, I hope my opinion does change and I like it more. That would be nice.
that would be nice. I have a feeling that
I
not that
think
it's gonna stagnate, but I feel like I don't know.
I think all of my opinions on all of these movies are going to change in some way because the so far the only one that has stayed the same was Thor, and like
Yeah,
that's just mainly because I don't like that movie and I didn't
yeah,
like
and
it
mainly
because it's a
because
bad
it's
movie.
just a bad
It's
movie.
just a legitimate bad movie. I think. Okay, let me go. Do you watch these on Disney Plus?
Yeah,
Okay, so you know how Disney Plus hasn't split up from phase one to phase two, phase three. It really has our work cut out for us, so we really don't have to try much. But
yeah.
the second movie and like we're watching Iron Man 3 and then the next Thor the week we come back to the Marvel universe, so it's gonna be
Ooh,
rough.
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I actually didn't like Iron Man 3, but I do think my opinion will change on that movie because I didn't like it because it wasn't connected to the comics as much with Mandalorian with the not Mandalorian. Oh my god, the
Whoa, that was quite the
yeah, no, I didn't mean to say that. It begins with the M. Damn it.
yeah.
What you know what I'm talking about?
Right, right.
Like he is in the comic version of him. So I was like, this is a stupid movie. Why didn't they do the ring guy? Just whatever, bad. But like,
Yeah,
it probably is a good movie. I just kind of ignored everything about that and was like, I'm angry about this one stupid thing. Thor: The
I
Dark World is just a
remember.
bad movie though.
I feel like that's what kind of gives, I mean, I'm sure there's thousands of people who have reviewed and looked back on all the different Marvel movies, but having the unique experience that we had and that pretty much everybody else has had because it's such a big franchise.
No,
But
no. I know exactly what you mean. Like, I think my brother's age group, like not his generation, his specific age group, had the best experience with these movies. And let me explain why. Because they started whenever we were kids, and they ended on Austin's like last 9 weeks of his last year in high school. So not
yeah,
only did Endgame symbolize the end of the Marvel universe, but also the end of Austin's like childhood.
right. Yeah, it perfectly lined out
Mm-hmm.
with everything.
It's pretty
That's
sick.
kind of nice.
And I
It is
know I'm gonna have fun showing these to my kids, but they'll never understand the feelings that we had with it because we had to
yeah,
wait we'd watch it and then we have to wait a shit ton of time. Like part of why this is so awesome is the fact that we had to wait 10 years to see Endgame. And and even waiting like the what was it, 4 years from Iron Man 1 to this movie, and
Yeah,
that was incredible.
that
Like
was really cool.
it was so awesome. I think this was the first movie I went to go see opening night, like at 12 o'clock,
Right.
and
Yeah, just how old we were and everything. It just worked out
it did. It
perfectly.
really did, because
And there's no way to have that for
it
anybody
also
else.
felt like the movies grew up as we did. You know,
Exactly, yeah.
like they got seriouser and like darker and stuff like that up until the point in which where we're at today. Like,
Yeah. Which I'm sure is partially intentional. Like
oh,
they at least
definitely
have
was.
to figure that.
It definitely is. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, holy shit, I have so many more notes that I have to get to.
I have
We just keep
issues.
getting off topic and talking about the movie. I had a problem in the beginning of the movie when Nick Fury picked up the Tesseract and put it in the case, but like Red Skull also did that, but he was sent to another planet. So
Yeah.
that I was just like, that just is weird to me. I don't like that. I thought the explosion of the base itself looked really awesome. I thought it looked really cool, like the CG behind it.
Yeah. They did a really good job with most of the CG in this
I wouldn't
movie.
say most of it. A lot of it was like decent, but some of it was just like, what the fuck? Like the scene where
Yeah.
Captain America jumped out of the helicopter, the not helicopter, the thing, and was like parachuting down. That looked terrible.
Yeah, and when Loki was teleporting around later in the movie, I don't know, about a
Yeah,
quarter of the way through, it didn't look good.
yeah.
Just straight up.
There was a bunch of scenes where it just was like,
Yeah.
but
That was the one time though, personally for me, that I was just like, this is just not good.
well,
But
yeah, but I was
everything else,
looking for it. I was like looking for the CGI
right, yeah.
specifically. Like the helicopter crashing scene looked kind of bad, but if you weren't looking for it, then it would look fine.
Right.
Yeah, I always thought it was. I still think it's weird that Nick Fury just built the Avengers in the anticipation that an army was coming, but we didn't
Yeah.
like.
It just happened to work
Yeah,
out, you know.
even with the little backstory of Captain Marvel being like meeting Nick Fury. I don't know if you've seen that movie yet. It doesn't matter, but it's like a prequel where Captain Marvel comes up to Nick Fury in like the 80s or whatever, and he's like, "Damn, they're human people. We should try and like get them together in case something bad happens." Even with that, it's kind of odd that
Yeah.
he just so
Very
happened to get
coincident.
enough superheroes to beat this army just in time.
Yeah. It, it worked out real well for
Yeah,
them.
he got real lucky on that aspect. Like, granted, he did already have Black Widow and Hawkeye together. Like, that was just like there already, and he got really lucky. He got really lucky with Thor coming into the mix.
Yeah.
He just
He
was
just
like,
happened to literally fucking land on the
yeah, he was
helicopter.
like, okay, well, we kind of have the big green guy, and we might have Tony Stark. I think we're done for. And then
Yeah.
Thor just comes out of nowhere, and he's just like, we got a god on our team. We're good. Yeah,
Yeah, we're chilling.
we're chilling. We're okay. It's okay. Black Widow is a badass. That
Yeah.
opening scene with her is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's
That's
so.
why I hope they do her justice in the
Oh my
movie
god,
movie.
yeah. I really hope they didn't really go off of that. They didn't do her spy kind of stuff in the other movie. They just kind of showed her beating the shit out of people. I liked how
Right.
they not showed her person. They showed her skills through just like being a good actor, I guess. I know that sounds weird, but like not Scarlett Johansson being an actor, but Black Widow being an actor. And I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. I also like Scarlett Johansson's reaction when she hears that Barton's been compromised and how she like visibly gets angry on the phone, and that's when she kicks everyone's ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. Also, there's like
Yeah,
that
they played that
fucking
real well.
tip up thing that she does where she kicks off the guy, lands on her like back, and then flings back up. That was sick.
Yeah, that whole thing. That whole she was just
Yeah,
kick ass.
yeah, she's pretty badass.
Literally.
I really like the way that they introduced the Avengers. You know, because they got the confusing ones out of the way. They immediately hit on Hawkeye, who wasn't really in, and Black Widow, who barely was in, and then they go into Captain America and Hulk, who both had their movies, but they're taken out of this timeline because one had an actor change and he didn't really have any connection to the other Avengers, and Captain America, who literally was taken out of the timeline and was put back into this, and he has to readjust. But we didn't spend much time with him. If you notice that, but because we do understand that he is a soldier, and all they had to do was give him his orders, and then they immediately cut, I think, to Hulk, if I'm remembering correctly, which we spent a decent amount of time with Hulk, which is completely understandable because we had to get used to Mark Ruffalo. as the new Hulk. And I don't have a problem with Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, but I don't like the way that Hulk looks in this movie. I think he looks too much like an ape.
Really? Here, I'm gonna pull
No,
it
I
up.
mean like he doesn't. He's a human still. Yeah, he's a big human, but he's a human. And he like spends the majority of his time with his hands on the ground with his feet. He literally looks like a gorilla.
Huh. I guess I didn't really notice that.
I always noticed it. Ever since I was in fourth grade, I was like, this is just weird. I don't like it. And then
Too funny.
randomly they just kind of make him walk sometimes normally, but the majority of times he's on the ground. Like whenever he smashes the shit out of Loki, he just gets up and walks away while talking. And then almost every other time he's just like "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh." Big ape man.
Big ape man.
Big ape man. That I bet that has something to do with Mark Ruffalo because um they mocap them, I think. I'm
Oh,
pretty
I'm sure
confident
they
on
do.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they their faces look like them. And I doubt Edward Norton would go ape man on that, and he probably was like, I want him to look like a human because he's a human. And
Yeah.
I do like how they stopped doing that with Hulk. They don't make him into a ape anymore. I wish they would have made more Hulk movies, but due to contract reasons, they weren't able to, which is okay. It's whatever, but I still think it's really cool. I would have liked to see more of him because he was, in my opinion, the most underappreciated Avenger.
Okay.
Li-
Interesting. I
uh,
don't know. I don't know if I would say underappreciated
Well, he doesn't.
personally.
He has a movie, but like everyone just ignores it. The in Hawkeye, basically his
People
movie's
do
basic.
ignore it.
Yeah, yeah. Black Widow's getting her own movie. She hit her and Hawkeye. Surprisingly, had a lot of action throughout the movies, even though they didn't have their own movie. I mean, Black Widow gets her movie later, but like
Right. But
Hulk's
I feel like,
literally only in this one, Age of Ultron, Ragnarok, and then the last two Avengers movie.
yeah. And
Well,
he doesn't
and
have a
Iron Man
lot of
3.
screen time either.
Yeah, exactly. I think they just didn't know what to do with him, so then they just didn't put him in the movie,
I'm sure,
or made
yeah,
a movie.
that he's another expensive CGI guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think it probably has a little bit to do with the fact that he's like, not like a trump card, but like
Hmm.
shit goes down, throw Hulk in, get a few scenes in, people know he's tearing shit up, and then we're done, you know?
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they didn't want to go much past that.
Yeah.
I
Which is
understand.
whatever. I do enjoy. I enjoy the general character arc that they gave Hulk through Ragnarok and Infinity War, but I don't like how he ended up in Endgame. But we will talk about that whenever we get there.
Yeah.
I thought Pepper was acting really weird in this movie. I don't. I know she
Really?
wasn't in the movie very often, but that little scene with her in it, for some reason, was super off-putting to me. Like, cause she just kept making jokes and she kept quipping and calling Agent Coulson by his first name, and I just was getting really uncomfortable. That entire scene was really uncomfortable to me until Tony opened up the Avengers thing, which was literally the end of the scene.
That's kind of funny. I don't
Yeah,
know if I quite caught that, but I
I
guess.
really hope it ruins the movie for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Um, I don't remember when this. Okay, okay, it was Coulson talking to Captain America, I think, in their little jet, and one of them made a bad joke, and I wrote Stephen Hawking joke. Dot dot dot. Nice.
Dot, dot, dot.
Well, I mean, like I wasn't sure. That reason I did that was because I didn't want the nice sounding like I was like agreeing with the joke. I was like, this definitely was insensitive back then, so it
Yeah.
definitely is way more insensitive now. And then
Yeah, people are
huh?
now.
Sorry, I didn't
So
hear that little
yeah,
bit.
now.
Oh my god, now after rest in peace. That guy was the goat.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. I also enjoy how the second the helicarrier goes up, Captain America takes out his wallet and gives Nick Fury $10 because he was because Nick Fury goes, I bet you $10 that will surprise you, and then he just gives him the $10 and they don't talk about it.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like personally, physics wise, I mean, I don't know. It just
Okay, it doesn't
looks
make sense. It
weird
doesn't make sense.
because wouldn't it just all the whole ship would spin and like the waves would make it real wobbly? I don't know. Like
It
it
wouldn't
looks like
work as a ship and it wouldn't work as a
yeah,
helicopter thingy, but who cares?
right. But the fact that it's an Avengers, I mean, you
Yeah,
can't really
you can't like it's a staple now. Come on,
yeah, exactly.
you can't just do that. I also like how even though Banner doesn't want to be there, the second he gets on the ship and they say you can start, he goes to work immediately.
Yeah,
Like he
he is
doesn't.
wasting
Yeah,
it.
I enjoyed that. It kind of showed that he's experienced,
Yeah,
and I like that because of the fact that he is a new character in this role. Like we've seen Bruce Banner, but we haven't seen Mark Ruffalo, and him not asking any questions and him immediately doing what he needed to do and getting done and starting to look for the Tesseract showed that he is an experienced person, even though he isn't experienced in what we've seen, and I enjoyed
right.
that. I also like how whenever they started to fly, he goes, "Is this a submarine?" And then he looked at the helicopter propeller things and he goes, "Oh no, this is much worse." I enjoyed that. I thought that was funny.
It
You
was
gone
pretty
again?
funny.
Oh no, you're here. I thought you were
No,
gonna laugh at that. That made me sad.
I did laugh.
You did? I did not hear it.
Oh, that's weird. I did laugh a little bit.
Okay.
Like the nasal
I
laugh.
don't like Cap's suit in this film.
Oh yeah, wasn't that the thing? Like nobody liked it.
I thought
I didn't like
nobody
Thor's.
Thor's. I thought Thor's looked fine. Well, I don't like his
Yeah,
sleeveless. I don't like
Thor's
his
looked like
sleeveless ones.
plastic.
His hair looked weird. I do agree with that.
Yeah, his hair was nappy. Yeah,
I liked his armor at the end of the movie. I didn't like his armor throughout the entire movie because I thought it looked weird without any sleeves.
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but his suit looked so cartoony. It was just like, bleh, you know.
Yeah.
Even he didn't like it. He said that he didn't want to wear the helmet, so he took it off halfway through.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of funny.
I guarantee it wasn't comfortable either, because like imagine that like you're doing all this physical stuff and it definitely moves around and covers your eyes a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's not, it doesn't fit perfectly, then it's totally gonna ruin everything.
I do agree with that. Um, I thought it was necessary to write down "shoot the thrills" of banger. Good choice. Whenever Tony came in to attack Loki, whenever Captain America was there in the thing, I thought that was pretty awesome. I
Wait a second. Shoot to thrill.
Yeah,
Oh,
whenever
that's
when
easy.
Tony
Easy.
yeah, Tony comes in, he hacks the system of the helicopter jet thingy and plays shoot the thrill as he comes in and kicks Loki's ass.
Yeah, but
Badass.
he's wearing a Black Sabbath shirt
Yeah, throughout
throughout
the show.
most
I
of
mean the
it.
movie.
Yeah, so I thought that was
Hmm.
thought there was a chance that they were playing the you know I thought it made sense,
That
but
would be
it's
cool. I would
AC/DC.
like that. But you
That
know
would have
what?
been funny.
Yeah. My
It
favorite
fit.
shirt
It
of
fit.
his is actually in the second Avengers movie where he has Bruce Lee on as a DJ.
What?
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see it. We'll see
We'll
it.
see it. That's
um
hilarious.
I thought it was okay. I don't know why I keep looking for this stuff. Like I we're supposed to be going for the general audience, so this doesn't matter. But I'm gonna say it because I thought it was a cool little addition. Whenever back in 2012, whenever they added it, but they spent a ton of time on Thor and Loki. Like that was like five or 7 minutes, whatever that range was, of them talking. And as of where we're at right now, that definitely isn't confusing. But back then, Thor and all of the god stuff is definitely the most confusing thing in the entire Marvel universe because like it's legitimately magic and we're just like what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they spend the most time on those two characters cuz to our minds at the time that is the most confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
I
what you're saying.
yeah. And then there was a scene that I actually didn't care about until watching Endgame, which was where Tony is talking to Hulk and he's kind of like giving him hope, I guess, where he's just like, he looks at him and he goes, "That much gamma radiation should have killed you." And he was like, "So you're saying the other guy saved my life?" And he was like, "For what?" And then Tony goes, "I guess we're going to have to find out." And that specifically is for whenever Hulk has to go do the snap in Endgame, because Hulk says, "I was made for this." So he, from Avengers 1 to Avengers Endgame, he found his purpose of turning into the Hulk, which was that exact reason.
Yeah.
Which kind of
That
sounds
is
like a
kind of
lame reason, but like without him, that he saved the universe,
right.
which is awesome. Again, I think Hulk is incredibly underappreciated because when Endgame came out, everyone talked about Tony and his sacrifice, but like none of that would have happened without Hulk's sacrifice.
Yeah. Called like not- it all comes together in the end, you know. the puzzle pieces fit
Yeah,
together.
it fits almost perfectly. There's plot holes in this, obviously, but
Yeah,
not
like
as
we
much
pointed
as
out.
there should be through 27 movies.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive the
Yeah.
amount of stuff they've put together,
I
and little
respect it
shit
so
like
much.
that.
It's awesome. I love it. This if you don't like comic book movies and you don't like action movies and stuff like that, I still think it's worth watching all of these together because of how well they're made as a series. The
Yeah,
only thing that can come close to competing is Star Wars, and it's not. It's like really not even close. It's like Marvel's at 1, and then it's just blank spaces in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then at 8 there's Star Wars. It's not
yeah,
even close. Just because like as much as I love Star Wars, universe isn't as thought out together. Like especially in the recent ones. I know whenever it first came out, they weren't expecting to make a trilogy. They just made the first movie, and then after that, they were like, okay, we're gonna make a movie that connects between the next two films. So like, if you rewatch it, A New Hope is just a standalone film, but then Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi are kind of connected in a way, but they're still a good trilogy. And then in the prequels, as much as people dislike those movies, the story connects through all three of them, which is amazing. And then in the sequel series, they just don't connect at all. There was just like a bunch of just jumbled garbage that is that. And then if you put them all together, all 9 of the movies don't connect very well, and it wasn't thought out. But it wasn't supposed to be thought out because it wasn't originally like that. But the thing
yeah.
with Marvel is that every single one of these movies connects together in a perfect puzzle piece, and like that goes back to how important this movie specifically is because this was like the final puzzle piece of the season, you know?
Right. Yeah, it all. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it doesn't really make. I know it didn't really make much sense with that, but like I don't know how to explain it in a way that's different than that of how important and amazing these movies are to the entire film industry, not just like I. Martin Scorsese, he was the one that said these movies are just like roller coasters, right? They're not actual movies.
I really don't know.
I didn't research this because I didn't think I wasn't going to talk about it, but he couldn't have been more wrong. Whoever said that, he couldn't have been more wrong because these these movies are masterpieces. Not all of them are amazing, but
Yeah,
it's not.
together.
Yeah, you're not made to watch them separately. Together,
Right.
these movies are amazing, and I love how one of my favorite parts about the universe is that they if they make a bad film, they don't just act like it's not there. They only did it once with Hulk, but they still talk about it. Like they still have the mustache man that like tries to kill not kill Hulk, kidnap Hulk in that movie. He comes back twice, multiple times actually, not more than twice. They didn't just ignore that movie. Whenever they made a bait, look at the okay, the two of the worst received movies in the MCU are Thor: The Dark World and Age of Ultron. And then in Endgame, they focused on those movies for almost the entire film.
Yeah.
They don't. I love
Yeah.
how they are just like they made a story and they're not changing it based off of people's opinions, and I love that because I guess I don't know what am I trying to say here. Okay, people got mad. It's like watching a TV show and you get mad at an episode, but whenever you finish the season, you're like, oh, I understand why that episode is in there now. Like Marvel didn't change up their end goal because people didn't like the movie that they made. They just kept going and they're like, don't worry, guys, you'll understand later.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a weird rant that I went on there. I'm so sorry about that, but it was just these movies are so important, not just to me, but to like everything.
Yeah. They. Yeah. They're big movies.
They are. They're awesome. I I have a
So
couple
kind
more
of.
things to get on, then we get
I
into
was
film
gonna
news.
say.
Okay.
I know you have that
I don't
the
actually
big
have a
old
lot, I
list.
promise. I have a few more things. I like the scene where Thor hesitates to pick up his hammer. A lot of people thought that that was him calling his hammer and it just didn't work, but I took it as personally like he made a mistake. Like he was like, I messed up. What if I'm not worthy anymore? So he like does a little like, what if?
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah. Some people like I saw people complaining about that. They're just like, why is Thor not worthy for a second and then he gets worthy later on? I'm like, you guys obviously didn't watch the movies.
You guys obviously didn't
Obviously, I
watch
didn't
them.
watch the movies.
Obviously.
Whenever Loki threw Tony through the glass window, that should have killed him
Yeah.
instantly. He should have,
Yeah.
because those are really thick glass. That should have hit
Yeah.
him, and he instantly died.
Just snapped everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the bit where Hulk slams Loki around in the
No,
whole
no,
theater
it
clap?
isn't.
Okay.
I wish it was. That would be funny. But no, no, no.
That,
That
yeah.
that whenever Iron Man gets thrown through that window, that's before he has a suit on. That's before the fighting starts. Whenever he's just talking and he's like, "We have a Hulk."
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, he should have died. That should have killed him.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
very much enjoy the always angry punch. Like, obviously it's badass, but like he kind of hinted towards that at the beginning with his whatever his secret is, and then he gets to that, and it kind that 100% secured Mark Ruffalo as Hulk in my head because he did that in such a good way, and that cemented as Hulk being
Yeah.
who he is. And I know it sounds weird, okay, but my rationalization towards the fact that Hulk was fighting them and then immediately went to being friends with them was that every time Hulk came out, because they're different human beings, every time Hulk came out of Bruce Banner, he had to fight. So every time that happened, he just was like, I gotta find my enemy and I gotta beat them up because obviously I'm in danger. So whenever he first came up to on the helicarrier, he was like, okay, I don't know who my enemy is. I'm just gonna start beating the shit out of everything. But
Yeah.
then after that, he realized, wait, I fucked up. Um, my actual enemy is the fucking Chitauri, not Thor and all them. But he still held the grudge towards Thor for beating him in that fight, so I gave him a little 1-2 after fighting the monster. You know what I'm talking about? Whenever they're just kind of standing there and then Hulk punches him.
Yes, yes. That
Yeah.
was a good bit.
Then my last bit, little thing is I think it's kind of dumb how the Chitauri died after the mothership gets destroyed. I think that's kind of like the dumbest plot thing in movies. You know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think it's so stupid because it's just like it's a cheap way to end a film. It
yeah.
doesn't
Right,
feel
yeah.
earned. It's just like, come on, really? Like you couldn't have just
Which
had
is
them fight for a
frustrating.
little bit longer, destroying the rest of the army there. You had to make it so that it was just the easy way out. That's my
Yeah.
biggest gripe with the movie, but it's not even a big gripe. That's not a big problem.
Yeah, it was just kind of something they had to do.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they didn't really have to do it. They could have written a better way into it, but it's what happened, and I'm not gonna delve into that much because it is still a really good movie, and I enjoyed that heavily. Oh Lord, I'm sorry for talking about this movie so much. I didn't expect to get into it as much as I did with my opinions on the movie. And damn,
That's
like
right.
it's
The big phase one conclusion
yeah.
for
That's
the
why
rest.
that's why I made sure that it was by itself because I knew that if we put another movie
Yeah,
with it, then
it would get kind of eclipsed.
yeah, it also would get really long too. The episode.
It would get really long.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this for a very long time. Like, so if we had another movie in with this, either we would have to cut this short, which would kind of be lame, or just be like a 2 hour long episode.
Yeah, that would kind of be a nightmare.
Yeah, not a nightmare. It just wouldn't
Or
be.
two.
It wouldn't be the goal.
Yeah, probably not ideal. We'll
Yeah,
go
not
with that.
ideal, but it's okay. It's just kind of how it is. Want to get in the movie news now? I think I got everything out of what I wanted to say about um,
Yeah.
the movie. All right, wonderful. What have you come across in the last week or two?
Oh, what was that I texted you about God of High School?
Oh yeah, what?
Yeah, I just started that.
Oh, we're not into that part. We're in movie news, not what we've been watching.
Oh, I thought you said what you've seen. Oh,
I meant
okay.
like seeing
Movie news.
movie news wise. That was my bad. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
No, you're chill.
um
I was like, what are you talking about?
yeah, I'm sorry. I was jumping around. That was my bad.
I'm sorry. It's okay.
I'm
Oh, I'm
sorry.
screen red.
um, I don't know if I talked about this last week or this week or something like that, but I did hear news related to Black Panther and how they're not recasting T'Challa, and that something I saw related to how they're going to be focusing on Wakanda's past. So it's either going to be a prequel or it's going to have a lot of flashbacks or something like that. or they're gonna.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna kill T'Challa off and make Shuri the new Black Panther. You know,
What was that?
Shuri, like his sister. They're gonna make his sister.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
Oh, that
that's
would
what's
be
gonna
kind
happen.
of, huh. I mean, I'll take that.
You'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like her. She was fine.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. Obviously, it's not going to be the same because of how amazing Chadwick Boseman was
Yeah.
as Black Panther. I don't he took the role by storm. In Civil War, everyone loved him. It was incredible. Like just seeing him for that little bit was amazing.
Yeah, he was perfect. Yeah.
Hmm. He really was. James Gunn has confirmed the new Suicide. Oh my God, Suicide Squad movie is rated R, and
Hmm.
we love to see that because um, this sounds weird, but every rated R superhero movie that has come out in the last 10 years has been a banger. Like
Yeah,
Logan,
that's
Deadpool, Deadpool 2, all of them are god tier.
yeah,
Hopefully
that is
Suicide
pretty
Squad
good.
can follow suit.
Hopefully they, I don't know, fix
But
it.
that also could be it could be bad, you know, because I don't want if this movie is good, I don't want companies to be like, oh, we got to make everything R. These all four of these movies sold really well. We got to make everything R.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think that I don't think they're gonna do that for Deadpool 3 though.
I hope not. Just
I hope
at least for
so,
continuity's sake.
actually, because I hope I hope they make it rated R because I want Ryan Reynolds to do his thing. I don't want him to be harnessed into making a worse version of Deadpool because there's
Yeah.
only so many jokes you can do related to Deadpool trying to swear and not being able to, and he's like, "God damn it, it's PG-13," you know?
Right. Yeah, that would get really annoying
It would get
really quick.
yeah, it would maybe like I would laugh at it if it happened once at the beginning, once in the middle, and once at the end. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it needs to be in the movie. But I don't know how else they can do Deadpool with a PG-13 movie. Quite
Yeah, I
obviously, it
just
didn't
couldn't
work
yeah.
before. Whenever they did X-Men Origins Wolverine, like
Right, yeah,
it
but
very obviously didn't work.
it's just not Deadpool. It just wouldn't work.
You're right. I don't have high hopes for that movie,
Yeah.
but you never know. I would.
Yeah, we'll just have to
I would love for my hopes to be brought back. That is like it. I don't want people to take away that I hate Deadpool and I want that movie to be trash. I don't want that movie to be trash. I want it to be amazing. I just don't think it's going to be.
yeah,
And
right.
I would be more than happy if I was wrong. But I
Yeah,
don't
we're
think
just
that's what's gonna happen.
gonna have to see how it pans out. Go
Did you
from there.
know the highest domestic box opening for 2020 was Bad Boys for Life? I know. I know. Let it sit in.
That's
But no,
perfect.
but think about it, okay? This movie was released before quarantine happened, so
Yeah.
it makes
It
sense.
makes sense, but it's just kind of sad.
If we go by that logic, though, I think that Sonic should also be up there.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, because oh my God, Sonic is in the top 5. That's amazing. That makes me so happy.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I saw Sonic on my birthday opening night
Nice.
because it came out on the 4th. My birthday's on the. I mean, it came out on the 14th. My birthday's on the 13th. I was like, I need to, you know?
I need to.
Yeah. uh, it's like it's my character, you know. I gotta watch Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, how couldn't you?
Obviously, yeah. There's a little bit more images released for the Uncharted movie, which increasingly makes my excitement go down as I see stuff because I'm getting scared for what's gonna
Yeah.
come. But I'm still gonna see it. I'm probably gonna enjoy it. It probably won't be a good movie, but you know what? Tom Holland's in it. You can't not enjoy
Yeah,
it.
so how bad
Yeah, it can't be
could it
that bad.
be?
Yeah, even at its worst, it still is Tom Holland. So
Right.
yeah. You have any interesting movie news to talk about? Do you want to get into what we've been watching?
I think we can get into what I've been watching. I closed out a Screen Rant. I didn't see really anything crazy interesting.
Wonderful. Okay. You can start off if you want because
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd
I've
be
been
that
talking a lot this
would be
episode, so I'll just
interesting.
leave it to you.
Yeah, so I started God of High School, and I mean, it's all right.
The
It's nothing
action's crazy.
crazy.
I think the action's insane.
The action is crazy, and I think that's probably the highlight of it and
Oh,
what's dragging
definitely.
me through it. But
What what
I mean, I'll just have to watch more.
what
I haven't
episode are you
watched.
on? How many episodes have you watched?
Not a lot. Let me
Okay.
double check.
My problem with it is that they speed the storyline a lot. They can make it move too fast whenever they could have slowed it down more. But
Yeah.
the fights in the show are really well done in my opinion because you can very clearly see everyone has it. But don't worry, it gets better. The last couple episodes are a lot better than the beginning couple in my opinion. Uh,
Okay.
Specifically related to the fights. Like, did you see the end of the initial tournament yet?
No.
Okay, well, starting at there with Mori Yu, starting after her one-on-one fight with the person in the semifinals, from that fight on, that's whenever it gets really good.
Okay. Noted.
Okay. What
That
who
was my big thing. I haven't really watched anything. That's the series I'm on now.
why was there 40 episodes on Crunchyroll? Because I know season 1 has only
I don't
13.
know. Okay,
May,
so it said 40 episodes of Crunchyroll, and then I clicked on it, and there was only like 26 or something because it had the subbed and the
in the
dubbed,
dub,
so
yeah.
it counted as 26. So
That's
I don't know where the
weird.
rest of it is coming from.
Maybe there was like a couple OVAs or like because I know God of High School has been a muwa. I don't know how to pronounce it, but like it's not a manga. It was made on online for webtoons and it's Korean.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to like. It's called like Mwahu or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
that it's been in circulation for a while, so I think that there has been other stuff made for it, just not as a series.
Okay. That must be it.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
that
know.
totally is what it is
Weird.
because I remember whenever it first came out and you see the show, I think it's in episode 2 where you see Mori Jin do his triple kick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people were like, "This is garbage compared to this," and then they would like they'd show episode 2 scene and then they'd show another scene of Mori Jin doing his triple kick. And granted, the other one did look a lot better than the actual show, but like in my head, I was like, "This episode, where the hell? What the? What is this?"
Yeah. Where
I
did
was
it
really
come from?
confused. Yeah, but it's probably something related to that. I'll find it eventually. I enjoy that series. I want to see more of it. Um, I I started and finished a show called The Rising of the Shield Hero.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
amazing. It's
Huh.
legitimately it's one of my favorite new gen anime. It came out in 2019 and god, it's fucking so good. It's another one of the isekai ones like Overlord where the main character gets thrown into a world where he like it's like a mystical world or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in this one, they run it like an RPG in a video game where you can like level up and gain more skills and stuff like that. But what it is this world needs 4 heroes. Like there's a spear, bow, sword, and shield hero, and every
Hmm.
time those heroes die, they can just summon another 4 heroes from other worlds, and the main character gets summoned to the world, and he becomes the shield hero, and everyone like makes fun of him, and he gets ostracized and false rape accusations towards him, and to the point in which he's just like thrown out of the country, and he has to like gain his reputation back and gain levels because there's like waves of the demon lord that are coming and stuff like that. And it sounds stupid, but I promise you, it was legitimately surprising how good the show was to me. I
Hmm.
watched the first episode with Skylar, like just because I wanted to find something to watch, and I was like, I heard this is okay, so I put it on, and I just was like mesmerized the entire time. And Skylar left, and I just kept watching it. It was legitimately surprisingly an amazing show, easily a 9 out of 10.
Okay. I'll have
And
to check that out.
it's not done yet though. There's more seasons coming out, which I was
Yeah.
fucking elated to hear that because I was in love with the show. I did not want to stop watching it. I got to the final episode and I just was really sad. I was like, no, shit.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting. Okay. I'll have to
yeah,
look at that.
it's 25 episodes for the season though, so you might not ever finish it.
Yeah, let's not get out of ourselves there.
I like how you also admit that if it's longer than 13 episodes, it just is not happening for
Yeah.
you.
Well, I don't even know about 13 episodes.
You
That's
suck, dude.
judgment.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I just get bored
I
really
know that. I
quick.
can tell. Okay, this is don't tell your brother this, but that happened with Monster for me.
Yeah.
I like I've been trying to explain my feelings towards the show because Corey's also watched it, and he feels the same exact way as me, but he doubled down and finished it.
Mhm.
It's amazing. It's legitimately an amazing show, but I can never bring myself to watch it.
Yeah.
The
It just
story.
yeah.
Yeah, if I'm sitting down and watching it, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a great time. Like the story is top notch, second to none. But God, I never want to watch it.
Yeah. Like you just never want to put in the effort to do it.
Mainly because like recently at least, I've always been in the mood to like watch someone kick someone else's ass.
Yeah.
Or just like some sort of thing that I can relate to or something like that. I can't exactly connect with any of the characters in Monster, but I'm aware and I do enjoy the story and I'm aware of how amazing it is. I just can't watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I
also
feel that.
yeah, I finished Tokyo Ghoul, which was amazing. I didn't finish Re. I just finished the original 14 manga volumes of Tokyo Ghoul, and it's really good. I heavily recommend you read that. It's amazing. I love
Yeah, if I'm
Kaneki.
ever gonna start reading something, I'll probably read that.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. I wish I don't understand why the anime didn't follow it perfectly because if it was animated, it would probably be like one of, if not the best anime out there because of how amazingly written the show is. I mean the anime, the manga. I don't know why they didn't follow the storyline. Even with the torturing scenes, those are so necessary because I don't think there's a scene in the manga where Kaneki's getting tortured and everyone you know that, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting beatily, like absolutely terrifyingly tortured for a couple of chapters. And I was talking to Corey about that, and he goes, "The reason why they didn't put that in the show is because no one cares to watch Kaneki get tortured for a couple episodes. It's boring." And I was like, "No, I promise you, this is like important story stuff. Like there was one thing that like resonated with Kaneki was the fact that to keep his sanity, that his like torturer made him count backwards from 1,000 by 7, just so like he wouldn't turn insane from all the torturing, so he would keep his sanity. And
Yeah.
every once in a while, like after that scene, Kaneki uh, embraces the fact that he's a ghoul, and he starts like eating other ghouls to get more powerful. Because like you can eat the organ that produces like whatever sharp objects come out their back. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
If Kaneki eats those, then he gains that ability. So he just starts doing that. But when doing that, the something fucks up your body and it makes it so that you go insane. So whenever Kaneki goes into a fight and he really tries, he starts like legitimately going mentally insane. So then he starts like as he's mentally insane, he starts like saying quotes from whenever he was being tortured, like randomly he would be like count backwards from 1,000 by 7 and stuff like that. And because of the fact that that wasn't in the anime, they just cut those scenes entirely.
That kind of sucks.
It bothered me heavily because there was a really like they legitimately just did not do like a good 4 or 5 volumes of the book at all.
That's crazy.
I know, and that's a lot of the story. And then whenever they tried to animate Re, they didn't know what to do because the story wasn't there.
Yeah, right. That
So,
makes it.
so what they did is that they just followed the manga and confused everyone who just watched the show.
Oh yeah, I remember us talking about that
Yeah,
before.
and I didn't really understand until now because I didn't know what they missed out on. But they missed out on everything. I was talking to Corey and I said, "Yo, so and so just came back," and Corey goes, "Oh, I thought they were dead." I was like, "What? They were never
Yeah,
confirmed dead." It,
it's just yeah, it kind of sucks that they had to do that,
it's
but
it's it's
yeah,
it's a damn shame. They really need to reboot that and like make it proper, like they did with Full Metal Alchemist,
yeah,
because it legitimately could be Full Metal Alchemist level if it was animated properly. It's so good. I also
it is
started
quite
Berserk.
good. I kind of miss it. Oh
You missed
yeah,
what? What do you
I miss Tokyo Ghoul. I
you
wish
watched
they
it?
did it justice.
I didn't know you had you read or watched any of that.
I watched the first, I don't know, season. I don't even know what to call it. Like,
There's 3 seasons.
okay, yeah, I didn't watch Re, and then I didn't watch whatever was after that.
Okay. Well, Berserk. Okay. I read the first 2 chapters and it was really good. I know 2 chapters isn't a lot, but that was it was a lot better than what I was expecting.
I
I'm
don't
sorry that
remember
I
what the
ignored
first
your.
chapters were.
It was him getting tortured and then going to kill a snake apostle.
Oh yeah, the Snake Apostle is pretty cool.
It was badass. I love that shit. And then the next one was he's just kind of walking in a through a forest, and then a nice priest like picks him up to like carry him because he noticed that Guts is walking alone, and then all of them get murdered by zombies. And
Oh
then
yeah,
Guts is like, it's not my fault because they were weak.
yeah.
Guts is badass. He's so cool.
He's
I
pretty
also didn't
badass.
know that he had a robot arm and no right eye.
Yeah. Well, you see that later.
Okay, I thought that we were going to, but
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was medieval times. I knew almost nothing about Berserk at all.
which
And
is definitely for the best.
yes, I do agree with that. Um, there is a armor piece in Tokyo Ghoul that is inspired by Guts's Berserk armor, and if you read, you'll see whenever we get to
Oh,
it
that
because
might be
it's
handy.
very
Okay.
obvious. It also looks so cool.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna get around to reading it at
it's
some
it's
point.
only 14 volumes. I can even lend them to you if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
we might
really
have to
good.
finish
I would recommend it. On higher news, though, I watched Soul, the Disney movie that came out.
that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I haven't. I remember us talking about it though.
Okay, then when you watch it, we'll talk about it a little bit. I don't think it's important enough to have an entire episode on, but it was a really, really, really good movie. We probably should have
Yeah.
had that movie instead of Wonder Woman.
Oh, honestly.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a really good movie. I heavily recommend it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about today?
Ooh, no, I think I got what I needed with I think the only thing I really want to talk about was God of High School.
That's
That was
lame.
the only big
You're
thing.
lame.
Sorry.
I'm kidding. That was mean. I'm sorry.
You're lame.
You're lame. You suck. I hate you. Um,
Podcast over.
Podcast over. Get out of here. Whatever.
Okay.
All right. I hope everyone had a happy new year. I'm looking forward to 2021. I hope you guys all too. And goodbye, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and thanks for a bunch of the views. We've
Yeah,
been
that
really
too.
spiky recently.
Thank you.
Keep it up, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.